In episode 21 of Enigmatica 6 Expert, we get all Pneumaticrafted and fail miserably at it, but get there in the end. Let's just say mistakes were made, which will come to light in the next episode. We also put the Clockwork Bee to work. I hope you enjoy the episode. Let's get it on. So I'm out here looking for mud, and there's only one swamp on the map, and I managed to find some. The reason I'm looking for mud is because we need mud balls to create the alloy kiln. And I've just realised I've got the Ultimine 2x2. That's better. Should be able to go back via the waystone in this village, if there is one, and there is. So what we're doing today is making the Pneumaticraft refinery controller and 4 refinery outputs. The refinery outputs are pretty straightforward. The refinery controllers have these superheating elements in them, and if you've gone the route that I did, you would probably already have these kiln bricks made, but they are a sequenced assembly like we're used to making, and the mud brick is that one. And we've already made blast bricks and construction paste. I'm going to also need some smouldering lapis, and that is just a mixture, and that's the reason why we needed ectoplasm in the last episode. So I shall crack on and make these, and then I'll come back when I'm ready to throw this all the items to make the kiln bricks, these in the sequenced assembly. I'm going to have to add another deployer on there because I've only got 4 on there at the minute. There's our coarse lapis. To get that into the one that we need to make the actual kiln bricks, we need to stick it in the blast furnace. Hopefully that's enough. Doesn't look like it's going to take too long. I have set XNet up to use a pressure chamber. It's a simple in-out channel, so extract from this wooden storage, put it into the pressure chamber interface that's set to import into the pressure chamber, and then this one to extract, and then I've just got this simple Stirling dynamo to power it up as and when I need to, rather than you know, anything that's running all the time. I will change this once I get later on. We've got nice pressure just before 5, thanks to our security upgrades. It hasn't gone pop. Right, that's our 3 smouldering lapis. That completed the quest, actually. The only thing we need to do now is make another deployer. And hopefully we have enough room to put this at the left side, because if we put it at that side, this won't make the items push over far enough. So let me just turn these back around. yeah, it should be fine here. So, cog, deploy it. Shoot, and chess. We need to change this filter. We are making kiln bricks, I believe they're called, these. So we just drag that across from a JEI, put that back, and these should be in order. So last brick, last brick, last brick. And then we just drop the smouldering lapis on here. The end of the pass it gets. Oh, right, okay. So that's a problem. It hit the hit the first deployer. Didn't make it over by a long way. So let's remove the chest off the top. Got all three still. It might also be the fact it has reduced power now because I've put the extra deployer in. See whether it makes it over this time. Oh, just. And that should give us 12. Now the reason we've made 12 is so we can make the alloy kiln, which we haven't made yet. And I have a spot for it right just here. In between the blast furnace and the coke oven. And we take the engineer's hammer. And reform that there. And do we need the torch? No. So kill two birds with one stone. We have our 4 bricks that we need for, well, we only actually need 3, but we've made an extra one with there being batches of 4. So we have our 3 that we need for these superheating elements. Was it grey or black? Have I just made the wrong thing? Why did I make grey? Idiot. Well, it seems I need to go out and kill some squids because I've just made all my turned my black dye into grey. In fact, can I make black dye? Right, can make black dye with the rose. There, look, the wither rose, and the RGB cones and beeswax. We can make 8. Now this does make 6, so we don't want to go too overboard. Oh, this only makes 1 though, and that's grey, not black. So we want a grey wall, but black panes. Well, I made a right pig's ear of this. Oh, that's cute. There's a duck. Hello, Mr. Duck. So now we should be able to complete these 3 superheating elements. Oh no, I only made 3 electrum coils, not 9. Idiot, can't get the stuff. Right, so that's 1. So we need more electrum coils. Now we should have enough when the coil blocks get back into the storage. Yeah, there we go. And I believe we've got everything else. Made the tanks earlier, they're not difficult. It's just andesite alloy, some enderium glass in the, or just some hardened glass in the induction smelter and a basic tank. So they're not difficult at all, and we've already done reinforced brakes. So that should be enough for that. There we have our refinery controller. And we need now 4 outputs. I think I've made enough for these as well. Oh, I just need some more pipes. Which are just a bucket and 2 steel ingots, so they're not difficult. I've got a bucket there. I have to use that one. And there's the 4 refinery outputs. Let's just get rid of that thunder. Might be a little loud on the stream. On the video, if I put it in. Right, see what the quest reward gives us. Might be something useful. Rare loot. And we get, oh, reinforced brick tiles. We're gonna need thermal laggings though. So I shall get on and make, well, we need at least 16. I don't know about the top, whether the top is, we can just block that off I guess with a normal block. So yeah, it needs 16 thermal lagging. That is a lot of glass and wool, because for each one of these, you know, well, you can see the recipe there. That's quite a lot. Right, so we don't need these in there now. We don't need that. We'll leave those in. Yeah, that's our Xnet. So 16 of these. Oh, that was close. Run out of grey dye at 14 sets. We will set this up outside. It does need, I believe it needs heat, not pressure. But there are oil tanks here, so we'll have to sort that out afterwards. So when you're building this, it's a simple, straightforward case of refinery controller on the bottom, and then up to, you don't have to put 4. But I am. And then take your thermal lagging and shift click them onto the sides. Yeah, 1 of 24 block faces are exposed to the air. That's the top one. So we need a block, any block really, to go on top of there. Okay, so that's the setup done. So this machine requires heat. Now there are 2 ways you can do heat. You can use a vacuum tube, or you can use just any heat block. The only problem with using heat blocks, and I'll show you, is that I think they turn to obsidian. So if I get got magma blocks, yeah, if I just get one of these. One's obviously not enough to do anything, but I'll just show you that they actually turn. So you can't really do it passively with heat blocks. So if I put that there, it will begin to heat up. but I'm pretty sure that is going to turn to either obsidian or another block at some point. If you're wondering about these nutritional things, they give you extra buffs. When maxed out, you get +2 attack damage, +5 health, +1 knockback resistance, +1 armor toughness, and +20% attack speed. So why do we need the refinery controller, and why do we need the refinery overall? Well, it's to do with plastic, and there are two types of plastic. There's the industrial foregoing, which we've already made. That's the latex processing, and then you take the latex processed and pop it into the blast furnace to get that type, like this. So dry rubber, plastic, and the dry rubber is made from tiny dry rubber, which we get from latex in the latex processing unit. So that's that plastic. But the other plastic, this one, is made in a where are we? You need to look at the liquid version. So molten plastic uses LPG and biodiesel in a thermo-pneumatic processor. So we need to make this. It's a very straightforward recipe. We've already made the tanks to make the refinery, and these are just slabs of the reinforced stone. So yeah, very easy to do. And we're making LPG and diesel, not biodiesel. So the LPG here. But what we're going to do is continue. Where's the vortex on here? Alright, so the vortex is the next one. We're going to make the vortex. The only problem is I very much doubt this has anywhere near enough oomph to give the vortex any meaningful heat change. We'll make it anyway, along with the thermo processor that we need to convert or to make the plastic. This thermo-pneumatic processing plant. Oh, so that's a thermo-pneumatic processing plant. Let's have a look at the vortex tube recipe. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. And we'll need to take some pressure tubes with us to hook this up. Oh, I didn't realise I had that many. If you want to request the entire stack, just shift and click the plus and then request, and it will give the full amount. It won't error and say you've only got 47. It just gives you however many's in the stack. And I left that recipe on, so it put them in there. Just right click to remove that. Try saying that 3 times fast, because you're hot when you're cold. Right, okay. Did that complete a quest? It did. It completed that one, which gives us a heat sink. I was going to make that actually. Thermo pneumatic processing plant. There's a quest to make 4 of them, which makes sense because we've got 4 different liquids out of the refinery, but we're only going to be using LPG for now. So I haven't given myself a lot of room here, but this was taking so long to pressure up that I only used 1 pipe on this. Let's put the, not where I wanted to put it, let's put the vortex tube right there with a hot side facing out. The other side should be blue. Where's the connection? Is it any side? Looks like any side apart from obviously the red, the hot and cold sides. So we should be able to connect it into the top of there. We can actually connect it via that rather than that. Should begin to heat up. move that. Is it going to be enough temperature to get the LPG out of there? Is a different question. We need a bucket's worth of LPG just to see whether this process works before we set it all up and automate it. So we have currently 700 millibuckets, and that's 1000 LPG. So we take that out the top. Yep. We can put that into here. We need something else in here, don't we? Coal. So we need coal. Now this processing will cause the temperature to drop, and it will cause the pressure to decrease. We don't have a security upgrade in here. I'm not sure. This probably will pop. Yeah, most likely will pop when it goes above 5. So we've got to be careful here. Right, so that gave us, wow, 10,000. And do set in world. So I'm going to try this, even though it, oops. Oh, there we go, on plastic. Because we haven't done that. We haven't done that. That won't. Right. And I'm going to make 3 more of the pneumatic processing plants just to complete that quest initially. And then we can sort of see about continuing on down here if we need to. We did actually need this plastic. Why did we need this plastic? I think it was for the PCBs. Oh, and the transistors and the capacitors. We need it for all those, and we need these to create the PCBs to make, where are they? These parts for the assembly. There's a few of these parts. There's the assembly I/O unit, the drill, the laser, the controller. We need a platform as well. They're all made mechanical crafting recipes, and I think that they've all got the, oh, this one doesn't have plastic in it. Has the PCB. Oh, these pneumatic cylinders, these have plastic in as well. So yeah, so we're going to need a lot more plastic. What's that? Oh, it's just a block of diamond in lubricant. Right, we don't have lubricant. We can get that from the Amazon Amazon tablet, or we can make it from diesel in a thermo-pneumatic process with, right, so with redstone. So that's not an issue either. I shall make all these off camera because they're pretty straightforward crafting. I've just realised our clockwork bee that we have produces, where is it? Clockwork honeycombs, which centrifuges into andesite alloy and cogwheels, which we're using quite a lot of now. This one needs glass bottles in, so it's going to be difficult to automate this fully because the glass bottles making builder's tea. You have to put the glass bottles in before the combs, otherwise the comb will not do anything. But what that does mean is I've just made the cuckoo clock, which is the flower for the cuckoo bee. I'm pretty sure I have one. Yeah, I found this very early on in a biome when I was just, you know, just exploring. So we'll just make sure he's working okay. Being a solid object and not something the bees can fly through, try and put them at the against the back of the apiary, and the bees won't get stuck on it. Would have been more sense to put it just there though, I guess. Would have been closer. Yep, working fine. That should generate clockwork combs. We don't have a place for them, so that they will stack up in here to start with, which is fine. And then we can add them to this storage drawer. This is one that we don't process in the centrifuges, or needs a manual process like the endo honeycomb. That also requires bottles in there for the dragon's breath, which doesn't actually have a use at the minute. Otherwise the centrifuge will stall and not do anything. So yeah, that's going to generate us those combs for andesite alloy and small cogs. I just have to remember it's there. And meanwhile, I'm back to the induction smelter recipe. But yeah, I'm still making the thermo-pneumatic processing plants and the vortex tube. I just thought I'd throw that extra bit in there. So what I've done here is I've just connected the vacuum tube, a vortex tube that I had just here, up to the refinery controller, just to see how it would balance out. I've got a very small amount of gasoline left in here. The pressure is dropping, but we have 129 degrees. It was up at 150 degrees, but as the pressure's dropping, it's lowering down. And as you can see, that's been enough to give us another bucket of LPG, and it's processing quite fast, and that's not really counting anything else. If we light this bottom block, that will raise the temperature, but only by a couple. No, still going up, I suppose. Yep, so long as you manage to maintain a plus 100 degrees, then it will process the oil. But as we found out earlier, it actually processes the oil when it's at 99 degrees. It's just very slow. So yeah, we are losing pressure. I did make the 4 pneumatic thermo-pneumatic processing plants, so we can collect this. Oh, nice dispenser upgrades. They will come in useful for sure later on. So I'll tell you what the dispenser upgrade does. If you take one and you shift right click, yeah, so it says eject to east, and then put this inside the machine, it will auto eject the fluid into here. So if I put that tank down, then it would eject the, well, it hasn't got any in, but it would eject it into there. So very useful. So I ran out of compressed steel, so it was a good time to show you how my X-Net works with the pressure chamber. And what I'm going to do is I've got batches of 16, 32, 32. Now if you look at compressed steel, well, compressed iron, sorry, not compressed steel, just it uses iron. It's a ratio of 2 to 2 to 1. It makes 4. So that's 2 steel. That's why I call it compressed steel. It's not, it's compressed iron. 2 to 1. So this is the input chest. I'm simply going to slap a lot in like that. Only needs a few coal in there. So we should watch this at work. So I've instructed X-Net to put in stacks at once, so it doesn't put one at a time in. And you'll see there instantly it's pulled out a stack of compressed iron. And that is simply by using 2 channels on an X-Net controller. So we extract from the storage crate, put into the input side, and then extract from the output side of the pressure chamber into the storage crate I've got there for the output side. And it's simple three hookup like that. It's very easy to do. I have collected a couple of quests, didn't really get much from them. I got 4 omnidirectional hoppers as one quest reward, and a logistics core from another. Oh, and I create the kerosene lamp. I thought that would be a nice little side quest to do, because you get 64,000 kerosene in a tank as a reward. So that's quite a nice extra bonus to get some kerosene. It is a dead-end quest, as you can see there. There's no requirements for it. Next up is a fluid mixer. Not sure I'm going to go that far with this one, unless I have to. We need to basically create the laser, which is also, we'll be going down this one. So this is the assembly table. This is what we need basically to progress. And the reason we need this is if you look in the multi-block centrifuge recipe, you'll see there is a machine frame, and that requires this process. And I think some of the other processes also require it. Yeah, to turn the machine frame into these slabs, or tops as they're called, you also need this assembly controller. We're also going to need some programs as well, but they're from the Amazon tablet. I keep wanting to say Amazon tablet. Same thing, you go shopping. If you're wanting to get your liquid out to move this, you flick that little arrow there to the output side, and then you can bucket it up. As you can see there, it's gone. So now I can move this and put it here. So there's the bucket we need to complete the quest. Which gives us 8 more plastic sheets and completes this quest, which gives us an epic, and that gave us, ooh, nice, 2 advanced PCBs. Ooh, 4 volume upgrades. That's new as well. And then if we look down this one here, our next job is to make the Amazon tablet. These are very basic recipes for the air canister. GPS tool is also a very basic recipe, just requiring the 4 plastic sheets that we've now got. And then that takes us to the PCB blueprint, which is a Amazon request, and I'll show us how to do that later. So we've got our molten plastic in there. I'm going to put this bucket on the floor. There's some more plastic sheets. And when we've got the... oh, we don't have the LPG. Okay. Now you can see there quite interestingly, the heat is passing through this block into the refinery controller. They do that, they do share heat, so with that flame that should just take us over the 100 required? Maybe not. Just. Oh, we're losing heat because I took the lagging off here, which actually can put that back. Going to drop below 100 now because that flame's gone out. But as you can see, there are a few ways to do things. This is a crazy setup. We'll be much better doing that. Which is let a whole host of pressure out of here. Yeah, this is just not cutting it, this liquid compressor. The only option we've got is to create more liquid compressors and line them up, which I guess we can do, and I guess really we haven't got exactly a lot of choice, do we? Right, let's go and make some more compressors. I'll probably make 1 thermal and 2 more liquid. So yeah, let me make these off camera because we've made them before. If you want to see how they're made, look in a previous episode, and I'll be back in a few. Right, so I've made the extra liquid fluid compressor and the passive one. This one needs to be really in the floor, although I'm going to use solid blocks, so it doesn't have to be. But I mean, if I can put it down here, and then I can put my hot and cold blocks, they need to go opposite each other. So I got a quest reward with blue ice in it, and I'm going to use the magma bottle. Now I'm surprised it's not ejected this, so it needs a connection before it does. So that's okay actually. It means I can break this and then just quickly join the pipes up and it should equalise the pressure, he says, without having any pipes in his inventory. So that shouldn't lose too much. It will equalise the pressure with this, I would have thought. Right, that's okay. Is it dropping? 474, 475. So that's great. So that's fine. We haven't lost all our pressure from the pressure chamber now. We need to turn them around that way. Put security upgrades back in. Now I did make some more security upgrades. Right, and what we want to do here is there is somewhere just there now then. Can I get that off without breaking the pipe? Pneumaticraft does have a wrench, so can I get that off? Yes, okay. Now redstone's not going to go over the top of the magma block, I wouldn't have thought, and I don't want it to anyway, so we'll put this there. Do we have the analog lever? We do. In fact, I think I have some of those. Now the reason we're doing this is to turn off these liquid compressors when the pressure is up here in the basically the high end fours. So we put a comparator against that, and as you can see now it's emitting a redstone signal. We don't want to go that way. Why did that? I must have plonked two down. So when it's up at that, you see there it says emitting redstone 9. That works. No, it doesn't. Yeah, we need a repeater in here. Okay, and if we set these to low signal, I believe it is. Now if we give it some fuel, they shouldn't come on because our pressure is nice and high. So let's go, I'm not sure which ones of these we're going to need and which ones not. Let's go kerosene, seeing as we have the tank full of kerosene. The other problem is I haven't actually hooked these up. But they are off, as you can see. So let's connect these up. And we will go up. Like so. You should equalise the pressure out. That's it, I just said it set wrong. Wrong side of the comparator. So what this lever does here, it says I've set that to power output of 9, as you can see. So the comparator has to get to a 9 before it's allowed to turn on. So we'll see that shortly because it's emitting an 8 at the minute, so it doesn't have far to go. And you can see that these now are generating, they're actually working. See a little particle effect coming out the top. So it was subtracting the 9 from that, leaving 0. So yeah, that should work now. So let's connect up our vortex tube, which should drop the pressure. And I've just lost my analog because the ice is melted. Can't really put that there because the vortex thingy might. This might damage that. I don't know. Not gonna bode well anyway. So let's connect these back up, and this redstone should flick off hopefully with the drop in pressure. Yeah. So it drops in pressure, turns the redstone off, so the compressors fire up again. Now I would have probably wondering what these are here. These are actually fluids that I dumped in the world because I don't have anywhere to put them, but the textures don't look very good. So that's diesel, and that is LPG. So if you're wondering what those are, it's not water. Yes, we have a oil pool which is just here, just outside this gate, which is where I got the other oil from. And you can step in this oil. It's not like the old Buildcraft oil where it used to suck you down and you used to not be able to get back out again. So this oil is, you know, it's quite much like water really.